In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as 5 things to watch out for in the Bitcoin market this week, as well as the recent price action pump. We're up over 2,000 on the day. We'll be discussing where Bitcoin is likely heading next. Also, of course, I'll be sharing the latest breaking news. Dave Portnoy finally comes around and says the only crypto anybody should be involved in is Bitcoin. Remember a couple of years ago, he was pushing Safe Moon and all of the ish coins, Mr. Lettuce Hands himself. We'll also be discussing Coinbase will officially custody digital assets for the United States Marshal Service. That's breaking news, as well as Roaring Kitty faces securities fraud claims and doomed GME lawsuit, as well as German and U.S. governments move 150 million in crypto. We're also going to be discussing breaking news, $103 billion Sony to launch a Bitcoin and crypto exchange. Game on as game theory continues around the world. We'll also be discussing the latest from Michael Dell. Could his Bitcoin buy spark a $100,000 Bitcoin God candle? We'll be discussing this, plus so much more, in today's show. But anyways, fam, here we go. If you're new to the channel, very important to smash them likes and subscribe and hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications. This is pod episode number 1687. I'm your host, JV, and it's July 1st. So happy 1st of the month. The Bitcoin price action is a soaring. It's a pumping. Respect the pump. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. We got Bitcoin above 63,500. We have Ether on the cusp of hitting 3,500, while Solana, XRP, Cardano, AVAX, and all the major cryptos pumping and in the green, my bad. And checking out the coin market cap, we're currently sitting at a 2.34 trillion market cap. And checking out the top 100 gainers, we have ENS leading the pack, up 13.5%, WIF up 11%, and Brett up roughly 11%. Below that, we have Bonk, we have ZK, we have Beam, we have IMX, we have EGLD. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective, let's start on the day. Safe to say 95% of the market in the green, long overdue. And zooming out for a broader perspective on the month, 95% of the market still correcting and in the red. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, today we're rated a 53. Neutral, yesterday a 47, last week a 51, and last month a 72. In greed. So there you have it, crypto fam. But anyways, fam, without further ado, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the price action is likely to take us next, and discuss the 5 things to watch out for in the market this week. Then we'll look at some of the live charts, because the charts are off the charts, pun intended. So here we go. The 5 things to watch out for this week. Bitcoin faces a battle for the bull market. Continuation. Momentum continues on the day. We actually already tapped 63,700 on Bitstamp, and we're right on the cusp of reclaiming 64,000. Here you're looking at the 1 hour Bitcoin chart. CoinGlass confirmed 7% losses in June, while Bitcoin finished Q2 down a total of 12%. And looking into the immediate future, market participants remain cautious, with much ground left to recover for the sentiment to improve. And quoting the 21-week moving average from Keith Allen from Material Indicators, failure to move above it could mean another retest of the lows before Bitcoin can return to all-time high territory. Allen referred to one important support line recently lost as support, and he's referring to the 21-week moving average, currently sitting at 64 Gs. So let's see if we climb above that here today. And quoting Dan Crypto Trades, yes, the gap below can get closed, but the price is quite far away as we speak, so don't value it too much if the market wants to run away. These weekend moves and gaps are the perfect time to do so. Leaves most sideline. We have seen gaps like that created before that never got closed, or not until months or years later. I'm referring to the CME gaps here, family. And a look at the order book liquidity shows the price staging multiple liquidity hunts into July with 64,100. Now the key area of interest overhead, so keep your eyes on that as the line in the sand. Next thing to watch out for, unemployment data meets Fed's Jay Powell. That's right. Several U.S. unemployment data releases form a key element for the week's macro volatility catalyst. Despite containing the 4th of July holiday, there is no shortage of events that are apt to trigger a surprise crypto market move in the coming weeks. Quoting the Kabisi letter, we have a short but very busy week ahead, as they point out here, and you can see everything happening. June ISM manufacturing PMI data on Monday. Fed Chair Jay Powell speaks tomorrow, Tuesday. JOLTS job data on Tuesday, Fed meeting minutes on Wednesday, stock market closed on Thursday for the holiday, June jobs report data due on Friday, so a very busy week. And quoting QCP Capital, our options desk also saw flows positioning for an upside move last Friday into the month end, possibly in anticipation of the ETH spot ETF launch. Many signs point to a bullish July. Now for the next factor to keep your eyes on this week, the Bitcoin price trend line stands out. We're referring to the 64,000 resistance, which we're on the cusp of reclaiming. The significance of this zone has been rejected after the monthly open is down to several trend lines merging together in a single place. In addition to the 21-week moving average of 64,000, that's the side of the Bitcoin short-term hodler cost basis, also known as the realized price, reflecting the aggregate buy price of coins acquired by speculators. The cost basis has acted as support throughout the current bull market, with the only exception coming in August 2023. Quoting them here, Crypto Quant, if the price does not move above the short-term hodler price quickly, it will likely turn into a resistance level for the price going forward. Now for the next factor, light at the end of the tunnel for the miners. Let's break it down as many are capitulating. Difficulty is still forecast to drop 5% this week per estimates from BTC.com, and miners continue to adjust to the new economic reality post-halving. Now, the hash ribbons metric, which compares the 30-day and 60-day hash rate, shows the capitulation phase amongst the miners still in play. That said, withdrawals from miner-affiliated wallets, miner coins sent to the exchanges OTC over-the-counter, have all decreased sharply over the past month, leading to renewed optimism over profitability conditions. Quoting Crypto Quant again, miners' selling pressure has decreased significantly, and their selling volume is being digested quickly. Sufficient conditions have been created to continue the upwards rally again in the third quarter of 2024. And the next factor, crypto market sentiment sees a pronounced recovery, hence why we cover the Crypto Greed and Fear Index every day. You know what I mean? The Greed and Fear Index increased 6 points into July 1st, and as a lagging indicator, the full impact of the latest gains in the combined crypto market cap is likely not visible yet. The lower the number goes, the more likely of a pump, and we did hit 30 just the other day, and I called it. I said most likely we'll see a pump, and in fact, even Nipsey gave us the next buy signal 2 days ago, and lo and behold, Bitcoin's up several thousand since then. Quoting the analyst here, this along with a low RSI of just 36 are strong indications a bounce is close, and lo and behold, what are we doing right now? Bouncing. And now, Mr. Lettuce Hands, does he finally get it? I'm referring to Dave Portnoy. He's hilarious, by the way. He says the only crypto anybody should be involved in is Bitcoin, but it took him a few years to figure it out by ish-coining a lot of these scam coins, which have now went to zero, such as what was it called? SafeMoon and some of these other cryptos. So he is hilarious, but nonetheless, some people, it takes years to figure that out, to each their own, you know what I mean? And also, shout out Bukele. I mean, this is pretty lit. El Salvador President Nayib Bukele to fire 300 culture ministry employees in order to promote patriotic and family values. El Salvador is pro-life, pro-traditional family, and the 2030 agenda has no place here. Ultimately meaning out with the woke agenda. So I responded to this, and shout out Salvadoran pride. I put Bukele as the top G. El Salvador, aka Bitcoin country, is the nation of God. You feel me? Now let's check out some of the live charts. This is the 1 month chart right now via TradingView via Coinbase. Let's check this mofo out. Here we go. So yeah, you should be able to see this live and in the flesh. You can see we're sitting above 63.6. The monthly chart here looking extremely bullish. They say when in doubt, just zoom out. And let's pull up some of the other charts as well here. So yeah, we're going to zoom in from here. So we'll start with the 1 month, and now let's go to the 1 week chart, and then we'll look at the 1 day. This is the 1 week Bitcoin chart live and in the flesh. There's 2 targets to the north. We have a bullish pennant. You can see in the green sitting at roughly that 90,000 level. And then we have a uber bullish target sitting above 100 G's at 106,000. Another bullish pennant target, and the 1 week chart right now looking very bullish as well. Now let's zoom in a little bit more and go from the 1 week to the 1 day, and then we'll look at the 4 hour. Here we go. So here's the 1 day chart. Live and in the flesh as well. A lot of action happening. We have a bullish pennant target as well here at 106,000 in play. We also have a red target at 72.9, which would take us close back to price discovery. The current high is 73.8, which we achieved mid-March. And then we have 2 downside targets. One is a 53.6, and the other one is sitting at 47.7. Now let's check out the 4 hour, then we'll just look at the 1 hour. So here we go, live and in the flesh, live chart action. You can see a big red target sitting all the way at 73,500. Again, that would take us right near price discovery. We do have some bullishness occurring right now in the charts as well across the board, hence the entire market is pumping. Let's just also look at the 1 hour. And also looking lit. Look how big those green candles are. We do have a top target as well. Looks like sitting at the all-time high territory, 63.7. So there you have it. Next story of the day. Let's discuss this breaking news. Headline reads, Coinbase will custody digital assets for the U.S. Marshal Service. That's right. The U.S. Marshal Service will use Coinbase Prime to custody certain digital assets as part of the law enforcement agency's responsibility to handle asset forfeiture. That's right. In a July 1st notice, Coinbase said that the Marshals from the United States, the Marshal Service that is, has selected the exchange's institutional investing arm to provide custody and advanced trading services for the large cap digital assets. The crypto exchange said it would manage the assets centrally in support of the federal agency, which sometimes takes custody of crypto seized by the Justice Department. And we all know Coinbase is the primary custodian for most of the major asset managers, including BlackRock, the largest in the world. Now, in 2022, the Office of the Inspector General for the Justice Department released the results of an audit suggesting that the Marshal Service faced challenges in managing and tracking cryptocurrency. Then in March, they reportedly began exploring contracts for companies to provide crypto custody services. So there you have it. Everyone wants their exposure to Bitcoin some way, somehow, including U.S. government. Next story of the day. Here's the latest with the Roaring Kitty, a boring kitty. Roaring Kitty faces securities fraud claims and doomed GME lawsuit. Here we go. Keith Gill, the stock trader known for the 2021 GameStop short squeeze, is facing securities fraud claims in a class action lawsuit over a recent spate of social media posts that saw the price of GameStop stocks whipsaw violently between May and June. However, a former federal prosecutor believes the lawsuit is likely doomed to fail. So let's break it down. Filed on June 28th, the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District in New York, the complaint accuses Gill of orchestrating a pump and dump scheme for personal gain with a series of cryptic social media posts beginning May 13th. The complaint alleges Gill committed securities fraud by failing to adequately disclose the purchase and sales of his GameStop option calls, which allegedly misled his followers and resulted in losses for some investors. Represented by law firm Pomerantz, the plaintiff, Martin Radev, said he was injured by the alleged pump and dump after he purchased 25 shares of GameStop and the 3 call options beginning in mid-May. So ultimately, someone decided to purchase some options of GameStop and he lost on his position and he's blaming the Roaring Kitty. Now in stocks, just like anything else, it's player versus player. Not everyone can win. Bitcoin is the only game in town where everyone wins, because if you can hodl 4 years, you're at least history has shown us there's no one in the red, right? So that's why hodl be thy name. But with stocks and such, of course, somebody wins, somebody loses. So it's just ironic. But anyways, Gill emerged from the 2-year social media hiatus May 13th, posting a series of cryptic memes to his account, sparking a 180% surge for the price of the GameStop shares, which rocketed from $17 to almost $49 by the close of trading on May 14th. Like, whoa. Now, in the June 2nd post to Reddit, Gill disclosed a sizable position in GameStop, including 5 million shares of GameStop stock and 120,000 call options with an expiry date of June 21st sent the price of GameStop surging once again, closing above $45 on the day. And by June 13th, Gill shared that he had exercised all 120,000 option calls, realizing millions of dollars in gains. In fact, we were hopeful he would hit $1 billion in unrealized profits, which was the goal of the stream, but he came a little short because instead of pumping during that stream, and I was on it, there were hundreds of thousands of people on it, like unlike anything I've seen before, like 650,000 live folk. And but unfortunately, GameStop actually dumped and he didn't hit the $1 billion target, but nonetheless, he still has several hundred millions in his position. Now, the complaint is likely doomed according to the lawyer, so let's discuss why. In the June 30th post, former federal prosecutor Eric Rosen, founding partner of a Dynamis law firm, said the class action complaint is doomed from its inception and could be easily dismissed if Gill files a well-crafted motion to dismiss. Rosen said the lawsuit's main claim that Gill should have disclosed his intent to sell his options would not hold up well in court, as no reasonable person, let alone a reasonable investor, would expect Gill to hold on to all of his calls until the exact time of the date of the expiry. Rosen added it was clear the plaintiff was seeking to profit simply from the price impact of Gill's posts, not from the actual content contained in the post. And as a result, it would be hard to prove one's status as a reasonable investor in court. Based on this approach, it is unreasonable to purchase securities simply because an individual named Roaring Kitty posted innocuous tweets on social media. And that's exactly what people do. It's like, ooh, Roaring Kitty is long on GameStop. Let's buy some GameStop. And people don't even do no research. Welcome to gambling, AKA the stock market, family. Anyways, fam, let's dive into our next story of the day. Let's discuss the German and U.S. government moving some crypto around. That's right. The U.S. government moving 150 million worth of crypto along with the German government. So yeah, the German government has made a substantial Bitcoin transfer while the U.S. government has transferred Ether from seized funds. July 1st, the German government moved 1,500 BTC worth 95 million to multiple crypto exchanges, while the U.S. government moved 3,375 ETH worth 11.75 milli to an unknown address. And according to the data from the on-chain analytics platform Arcam, the German government transferred 2,700 BTC to multiple exchanges over the last 2 weeks. The exchanges include Bitstamp, Coinbase, and Kraken. The German government currently holds almost 45,000 BTC worth almost $3 billion. That's pretty substantial there. And in its latest transfer, 400 of the 1,500 BTC transferred were sent to the aforementioned major crypto exchanges, while 750 BTC transferred from June 26th and 250 of that to Bitstamp and Kraken. So it's on the move. And according to Arcam Intelligence, the U.S. government made large transactions, specifically the address holding funds seized from the Estonian crypto entrepreneurs Sergey and Ivan Turogin, previously moving 11 Bitcoin worth 743 Gs June 30th from another seized funds address. The U.S. government has since moved its entire almost 12 million in ETH holdings to a previously unassociated address. Now for the analysis and impact of the move. These frequent recent transfers by both the governments suggest strategic management of the held funds, with Germany potentially looking to liquidate its holdings on the major exchanges. The U.S. government's movement of the funds to an unknown wallet suggests a general shift in the ETH fund management. And speaking with Cointelegraph, VJ, the CEO of BitCrunch, explained the Bitcoin price slumped 6% since the onset of the government transactions. Quoting him here, "I think it is the market waking up to potential downside risks. There's caution in the air amongst investors that large-scale disposals by German and U.S. governments could potentially trigger a more pronounced downturn in Bitcoin's price. If that happens, we can see a higher selling pressure and increased volatility. The markets in the crypto assets regulation recently adopted by the European Union could influence Germany's crypto transfers. It's set to affect stablecoins and crypto asset services alike. It is also expected to shake up the crypto market substantially." So there you have it. So here we go. We're going to be discussing major news with Sony, a $103 billion company launching a Bitcoin and crypto exchange. Success leaves clues. Just saying, family, this is big news. So let's break this baby down before we dive into our featured story of the day. Amber Japan, a company operating under the Sony Group, has rebranded and officially changed its name to SBLOX as of today, July 1st. The Tokyo-based company is known for managing the crypto trading service Whalefin, planning to collaborate with various Sony Group businesses in crypto trading expansion efforts. And according to the official Fin press release, the rebranding follows its acquisition by QuetaWeb, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Sony Group Corporation in August 2023. Now, let's break it down. S-Blocks also announced plans to significantly renew its Whalefin service amid the rebranding, including overhauling its user interface and releasing new applications. The firm also highlighted the updates are geared towards improving the service and making it more user-friendly amid the expansion of its features. The service overhaul and renewal functions as part of Sony's expansion into crypto market to maintain competitiveness in the industry. Now, S-Blocks, established on January 10th of 2018, is wholly owned by QuetaWeb, reflecting Sony Group's 100% investment into the crypto exchange company. And according to the latest financial data, its capital is like, whoa! I think that says like, is that 1 billion? I don't know. So many commas. But roughly, that's in yen. In United States dollars, it's 10.5 million. S-Blocks is registered under the Kanto Local Financial Bureau, Director number 00015, and is a Japan Virtual Currency Exchange Associate member. The JV CEA. What a lit name there. I mean, you don't get any better than that. The JV CEA oversees the regulation and compliance of crypto trading within Japan's regulatory jurisdiction. Now, for the expansion, Sony recently issued warnings to AI developers in a letter dated May 16th, addressing to over 700 entities, including the likes of OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Spotify, and Apple Music. And speaking of Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Music, you can find Crypto News Alerts podcasts on all of these platforms and everywhere podcasts can be played. And warning against the misuse of the firm's copyrighted material, Sony explicitly prohibited using its music for the development, training, or the commercialization by the letter's addresses. Sony's letter specifically underlined the unauthorized use of the company's material in AI applications, depriving the firm and its artists of appropriate compensation. So there you have it, yo. Another one bites the dust. Sony, let's freaking go. Major corporation, Bitcoin adoption, crypto exchange. Sign me up. Now for our featured story of the day. Will Michael Dell's Bitcoin buy spark a $100,000 God candle? Let's discuss it, family. And the headline here reads, Bitcoin tops Michael Dell's poll on X, outshining AI in love with 64,000 votes. And this is Michael Dell right here. If you're not familiar with him, he is the founder, CEO of Dell. I think it's Dell Computers, right? Now, Dell is one of the most successful companies in the world. They have billions upon billions of dollars in excess cash, which may be parked already in Bitcoin or in the process of doing so from a lot of his cryptic, not so cryptic tweets. Now, I mean, the 14th richest man in the world smash buying a tremendous amount of Bitcoin, let's hypothetically say $1 billion or $500 million, would definitely move the needle. Is that what's moving the needle right now in the market? Let's break this baby down, shall we? And make sure you can read this clearly. You should be able to see the majority of it. Yeah. So June 28th, billionaire Michael Dell, the founder and CEO at Dell, mentioned Bitcoin again on social media. He initiated a poll asking users to choose what they considered the most important amongst AI, Bitcoin, love and relationships, and none of the above. And by Saturday afternoon, Bitcoin emerged champion, top choice, garnering 43% of the 64,000 votes. So here you have it, the 14th richest man on the planet on paper, asking the question. 550,000 people saw it, 64,000 people voted, and the official vote, 43% for Bitcoin. 39% love and relationships. That means the majority of the people believe Bitcoin is more important than love and more important than relationships. Wow, that's fantastic. And only 9% with AI. So very interesting. And 8% of the people said none of the above. So while the Bitcoin led the poll, love and relationships ranked second, as I mentioned, with 39.2% of the votes. AI receiving 9.3% and none of the above 8.3%. This poll from Dell follows his recent conversation with the one and only Michael Saylor, with MicroStrategy founder. Initiating before the weekend, Dell's poll attracted numerous comments from ex-users, including the platform's owner, Elon Musk. And in fact, Michael Dell also did another tweet of the Cookie Monster eating Bitcoin. If that's not a sign that he is stacking sats, I don't know what else is. Now, Musk, Mr. Elon, shared sentimental fool that I am. I tap love in relationships. Ha ha ha. Well, Elon, I know you're an enemy of Bitcoin, so I expect nothing less from you anyways. Pierre Rocard, Vice President of Research at Riot Platforms, remark, number 1, God, number 2, family, and number 3, Bitcoin. Others chimed in with, Bitcoin, fix the money, fix the world. And prior to this poll on June 21st, Dell conducted another poll asking what people thought would be the next big breakthrough in tech, offering options like quantum computing, AI, blockchain, and space tech. Now, that poll had 30,000 votes concluded, with blockchain leading at 38.6%. Another win for the biddies. Now, Dell's recent interactions with his audience highlight the ongoing fascination with Bitcoin's societal impact as debates over AI, love, and innovation persists. Bitcoin's lead in the poll underscores its lasting appeal to digital age enthusiasts, at least on X. Given that the high concentration of the crypto proponents on X, often called crypto Twitter, now we got to call it crypto X, eh? The poll conducted on another type of platform will likely yield different results. Well, that's a given, fam. Now, you got to keep in mind, a lot of these companies that have excess money, like the MicroStrategies, they're sitting on so much cash, they're losing hundreds of millions per year due to inflation, just like the melting ice cube that Mikey Saylor described. So, let's discuss this. If they're sitting on $5 billion in cash, they're losing roughly, and these are just random numbers I'm throwing out there, but let's say they're losing $200 million per year. This is the same situation Michael Saylor was in 2020 with MicroStrategy, and he had to figure out, how do we stop the bleeding? How do we stop all of this U.S. fiat monopoly money from losing its value, just sitting there? And he discovered the answer. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Let's put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And in fact, MicroStrategy did just that. And in 2020 was the first publicly traded company to put the biddies on the balance sheet. And since then, he has grown his company billions and billions of dollars in unrealized profits due to the Bitcoin position and that strategy. And they now collectively hold, I believe it's like, 214,000 Bitcoin or 300,000. I know he recently passed 1%, which was his initial goal, to have 1% of the Bitcoin circulating supply. Now the goal is 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply, which is ultimately going to be, I believe that would be 1 million Bitcoin. And now Satoshi, just to give you an idea, he holds roughly 1.1 million Bitcoin collectively in all the wallets if you were to add it up. But those Bitcoin more than likely will never move, which just means there's going to be 1.1 million less Bitcoin actually circulating because they're just going to be sitting in cold storage. And now recollecting the number of the biddies for MicroStrategy, it was 214,000 until their recent purchase. They just smash bought 700 million. So now it's like another 14,000. So they're killing the game right now. And that's one company. So again, now you have Michael Dell, Dell Company, potentially smash buying Bitcoin right now. Will they officially announce it? Maybe when they're done with another major purchase. I have no idea. At this current moment in time, it's speculation. There's also speculation that Mr. 100 could be Michael Dell. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. Now, how many other companies are going to be able to stack this level of Bitcoin? Not many. We're going to have a supply shock as well as a demand shock more than likely later this year because there is a very small amount of biddies currently available on the exchanges. And when you have big companies making billion-dollar purchases like the MicroStrategies or potentially Dells, there's very little Bitcoin to go around. And Bitcoin has number go up technology. And one thing is for sure, while I can't guarantee you where the Bitcoin price action will be in the future, we can have fun, we can speculate with predictions, which we do all the time. But one thing I can guarantee you is that the purchasing value of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to decrease as they continue to print money. And that's precisely what they will continue to do, regardless if Trump is the POTUS or Biden Poopy pants remains the POTUS. They're going to continue printing. So that's a certainty. So the dollar is doomed. You're witnessing it right now. Inflation is no joke. Real estate is through the roof. Food prices are through the roof. It's only going to get worse. The only antidote to save yourself from this corruption of the fiat money printing and the money printer, stack them sats. As simple as that. It's the ultimate savings. One more guarantee. The purchasing power of Bitcoin is mathematically guaranteed to increase your purchasing power. That's all you need to know. Treat the biddies as your savings account. Don't save in fiat. In fact, those who save in fiat currency, what do we call them, folks?
That use fiat currency, we call them poor.